Hello, friends. There was a little bird who lived in a big tree. He would look down every day at the ground below him and watch the people walking by. They would hurry along, not noticing the beauty around them. But he would stop to smell the flowers and enjoy the sun on his feathers. He loved his life. One day, the little bird noticed a beautiful bud on a bush below his tree. It wasn't like any flower he had seen before. And as the days passed, he started waiting for it to bloom. Every morning, he would wake up and check on the bud. He wanted to be the first to see the flower when it opened. But the little bird soon got bored of waiting. He would watch the other birds fly by, each taking seeds with them to build their nests. He saw them quickly gathering sunflower seeds, berries, and nuts. They didn't have to wait for anything. They just took what they needed and flew away. One day, the little bird couldn't stand it anymore. He flew down to the ground and started looking for seeds too. He found some sunflower seeds and some berries, but none of them were quite right. He wanted something special, just like the flower he had seen. As he flew back to his tree, he saw a family of robins hopping around on the ground. Their mother bird sat on a nearby branch watching them. "Why don't you gather some food?" she asked them. "I'm hungry. We're looking for seeds," said one of the robins. "But all we can find are berries and nuts. There aren't any good seeds here." "Be patient," said their mother. "If you wait, you will find what you are looking for." The little bird thought to himself, "She's right. If I wait, maybe I will find the perfect seed." So he flew back down to the ground and started looking again. But after a while, he got bored and frustrated. He wanted something sweet and juicy, just like the flower he had seen. Days went by, and the weather started to change. The wind became colder and rainier. The little bird watched the other birds protecting their eggs and feeding their babies. He felt left out. He didn't have anyone to care for, and now he was too proud to ask for help. He sat on a branch one day when an old tortoise walked by. The tortoise had been around for a long time and had seen many things. The little bird asked him, "Why do I have to be so patient? Will I ever find the perfect seed?" The tortoise looked at the little bird and said, "The most beautiful things require the most patient heart. You must wait for the flower to bloom if you want to see its beauty, just like how a caterpillar must wait to become a butterfly." The little bird thought about what the tortoise had said. Maybe he had been too hasty. Maybe he needed to be more patient and wait for the flower to blossom. He realized that he wasn't alone. There were other birds and animals who had to wait for things too. The little bird flew back to the bush with the flower bud. He decided to stay there and wait for it to bloom. The weather was cold and rainy, but the little bird didn't care. He was too busy watching over the bud. He sang songs to keep himself happy and entertained. One day, a strong wind came through and started to shake the branches. The little bird was scared that the bud would fall off, so he flew in front of it to protect it. He closed his eyes tight and huddled over the bud, blocking it from the wind with his body. When he opened his eyes, he saw that the flower had bloomed overnight. It was the most beautiful flower he had ever seen. Its petals were soft and fluffy, and its colors were bright and cheerful. The little bird was so happy he had waited for it to bloom. He felt like he had done something important. He flew to a nearby branch and looked at the flower. He wanted to get closer, but he was afraid he might hurt it. He had never been so close to a beautiful flower before. He was worried that he might not be careful enough. As he watched, a bee landed on the flower and started to drink its nectar. The bee buzzed happily and flew away with some pollen on its legs. The little bird saw that the bee was enjoying the flower, and he knew that it was safe. He flew closer and started to sip the flower's nectar. It was the sweetest and most delicious nectar he had ever tasted. He felt like he had found the perfect seed after all. He sang a happy song and danced among the petals. He was so glad he had waited for the flower to bloom. From that day on, the little bird visited the flower every day. He would sit on a nearby branch and watch it sway in the breeze. He loved the way its petals looked in the sunlight. He also enjoyed the flower's sweet nectar. It was the perfect reward for his patience. The little bird learned that sometimes the best things in life are worth waiting for. He used to think that being quick and getting things right away was the most important thing. But now he knew that being patient and waiting for the right moment could be just as important. He told the other birds about the beautiful flower and its sweet nectar. Some of them didn't believe him, but he didn't mind. He knew that they would eventually find out for themselves. The little bird continued to live in the big tree, watching the people below him. He still loved his life, but now he understood it a little better. He knew that sometimes the best things in life were about being quick or getting what you want right away. It was about being patient and waiting for the right moment. Once upon a time, there was a little bird who lived in a big tree. Every day he would watch the people below him and wonder why they always seemed to be in such a hurry. He didn't understand why they didn't take the time to enjoy the beauty around them. One day, the little bird noticed a beautiful flower bud on a bush below his tree. He decided to wait for it to bloom and be the first to see its beauty. But as the days passed, he grew impatient and started to doubt if the flower would ever bloom. The little bird began to feel sad and lonely. He watched the other birds flying by, each taking seeds with them to build their nests. He wanted to join them, but he couldn't bring himself to give up on the flower. One day, the little bird met a wise old tortoise who told him that the most beautiful things in life require the most patient heart. The little bird took the tortoise's advice and continued to wait for the flower to bloom. Finally, the day came when the flower blossomed into the most beautiful flower in the entire forest. The little bird was overjoyed and sang a happy song. He realized that being patient and waiting for the right moment could be just as important as being quick or getting what you want right away. The little bird continued to visit the flower every day, enjoying its beauty and sweet nectar. He also shared his discovery with the other birds, teaching them that sometimes the best things in life are worth waiting for. And that's the end of the story. Friends, do you like this little bird story? Let me know in the comments section below. Also, if you like the story, make sure to hit the like button, share this video with your family and friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. Now, before we go, I want to remind you that you are amazing just the way you are. Never forget that. It's me. And until next time, remember to be kind to yourself and others. Take care, and bye-bye.